I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and take out 3/8 of an inch wide from there to there, just because it's got to come out anyway. What I did right there at the end was I took out, for this screw that is behind this cutout, there's a screw and a spring that goes there, and I went ahead and just relieved for that because it's got to come out anyway. I may not have taken it deep enough, but I took out some for a starter. These caulking levers are as wide as the hammers, and the hammers fit in between here and here. Right now, this gap that I have made is not wide enough to accept those caulking levers, and it's keeping me from going back and down with this tang. So I've got to actually take out just a little bit by hand to widen this out, not only for the caulking levers but for these hammers. See, these hammers have to go in that way, and right now they won't go in that way because I've got it's just I don't have enough clearance right in here. There's going to be more hand fitting on this particular gun than I have done in a long time. There's another little, it's the back of the triggers right there that's sticking up. They don't have anything milled out yet on the bottom, and so those are hanging right here on the bottom as I'm trying to push this in. But I'm thinking, see, the hammers will go in between that gap now, so maybe there's enough room for these caulking levers to slide in there also. There he is. And then this safety, right, that's in the back position. See, it dropped in there. It's really it's really tight. But now this whole thing has got to go backwards. There's a gap between the front of this little the front of the wood there and where the receiver goes. There's probably close to 3/8 gap that thing's got to travel back. It's hard to even get anything in there and measure it. It's about 5/16 that it's got to go back. I wanted 1 3/4 across there. 1.75. Close enough. Now I have this cavity milled out for this safety to drop down into. Now going further back is impossible because this little ledge right here on both sides, there's a place that this wood has got to be thin enough for this middle portion to slide in between. That middle portion is 1.21, so I've got to mill out enough of this inside. You can see it on this original stock. It's this little flat area right here. So I've got to widen this out. That's going to be easier to do with this thing upright. I'm going to position this in the middle this way, and then I'm going to mark on the inside here where this goes. So this is going to be so painstakingly slow because I'm having to just take out each little obstacle one at a time to let this thing go in and back and down. So if I mark that right, it should be about what this was, 1.21 across those lines. That's very close. Allowing for the thickness of the mark of a pencil, that's very close. Very close to what it needs to be for that. That's just for that. This top tang here, it goes from fat, it sweeps in, and it gets skinnier and skinnier and skinnier until it hits about right there. It's not straight from here to here. It's got a slight bow in here, and it gets skinnier until about right there, and then it goes back out. It actually gets fatter back here at the back. This is about the slimmest portion. This and this are about the same. So this is not something I can just stick a 1/2 inch bit in there and mill it out. Back here at the fat at this screw, at the back at this screw, is 0.473. Up here in the skinny part, it goes down to 453, so it's 20 thousandths less here than here. And then it goes back out right here at the very back of this release lever. It's 477. So it's got a gentle swag in the middle. What that does, besides look kind of appealing to the eye, is it makes this thing, because this is fatter than this, it won't pull out forward. Because this is fatter than this, it won't go backwards. So it locks it in. When it fits well, it's locked. But I got to figure out front to back where all this lands down in there. I've got to somehow or another get this thing to go back. So keeping this middle, this point in this center line, I'm looking at it from here. Keeping that there, I'm going to start milling out these sides to let this part go back and down. Because it's got to go back up here on the front. This is probably 3/16 or more. This has got to sit back here. So I'm going to start taking some of this out.